Think of your kidneys as two office workers buried deep in the basement of your body. No windows, no breaks, no thank you notes. Every single day, they process 200 liters of blood, that's 100 bottles of water, just to keep you alive. But here's what happens when you pour sugar into your system. They're forced into unpaid overtime. Day after day, year after year. And here's the part most people miss: they won't complain. They won't send you a warning email. They'll just keep working until one day they can't anymore. So here's the question. Would you even know if they were about to quit? Your body has been sending you distress signals. You've just been calling them something else. That afternoon fatigue you blame on poor sleep. The puffy eyes every morning you think are from drinking too much water. That foamy urine you've never thought twice about. Or that dull ache in your lower back you've written off as getting older. None of this is normal aging. This is your kidneys crying out for help. Here's what's actually happening when you flood your system with sugar. Your kidneys shift into overdrive. It's called glomerular hyperfiltration. Think of it like cranking a water filter to 200% capacity. At first, the water flows faster, you might even think the machine's working better. But behind the scenes, the filter membrane is tearing apart, piece by piece, cell by cell. Now here's the part most people get wrong. When your kidneys work harder, when they filter more efficiently, when your blood tests show high filtration rates, that's not a sign of strength. That's a red flag. It's like watching a star employee at work. Management keeps piling on projects. At first, they deliver maybe even faster than before, fueled by adrenaline and stress. But week after week, month after month, the cracks start to show. Mistakes creep in, energy fades. And one day, without warning, they just stop showing up. Your kidneys are that employee. And when they filter too well, it means they're not thriving. They're drowning. Researchers at Harvard found something chilling. People with high kidney filtration rates, above 120 milliliters per minute, have 3 times the risk of acute kidney failure compared to those in the normal range. 3 times. Because what looks like peak performance is actually a body in crisis mode. But here's the number that should stop you in your tracks. 70%. 70% of your kidney function can disappear before you feel anything serious. Before the pain hits. Before the diagnosis comes. Before you realize something's deeply, irreversibly wrong. Why? Because your kidneys are masters of compensation. One healthy kidney can do the work of 2. So by the time you notice something's off, by the time the fatigue feels unbearable, the swelling won't go away, the back pain becomes constant, you're not catching it early. You're catching it late. So here's the question you need to ask yourself right now. Are you living in the illusion that you're healthy? Now let's talk about the invisible enemy. Sugar doesn't just make you gain weight. It attacks your kidneys on 3 separate fronts. And most people have no idea it's happening. Front 1, the direct assault. When sugar floods your bloodstream, it creates something called AGEs, advanced glycation end products. Think of them as sticky molecules that glue themselves to your nephrons, the microscopic filters inside your kidneys. Once they attach, they harden the tissue and clog the filtration system. Here's the analogy: imagine pouring syrup into a coffee filter. The first time, it still works. Maybe a little slower, but it works. By the 100th time, that filter is completely clogged, useless. That's what sugar does to your kidneys, one sweet drink at a time. Front 2, the indirect attack through inflammation. High blood sugar doesn't just sit quietly in your veins. It triggers oxidative stress, which sparks inflammation in your kidney tissue. And inflammation leaves scars, permanent scars called fibrosis. Once scar tissue forms, kidney function drops. Forever. Think of it like rust on metal. Once the rust sets in, you can scrub all you want, but the damage is done. You can slow it down, but you can't reverse it completely. That's what chronic inflammation does to your kidneys. Now let's talk about something painful. Kidney stones. Most people blame salt, or not drinking enough water. And sure, those things matter. But here's what they don't tell you: sugar is the sneaky culprit behind most kidney stones. Here's how it works. When you consume sugar, your body dumps excess calcium into your urine. That calcium binds with oxalate, forming crystals. Over time, those crystals harden into stones. And if you've ever had a kidney stone, you know the pain is unbearable. A study published in the Journal of Urology found that people who drink just 2 cans of soda a day have a 33% higher risk of developing kidney stones compared to those who don't. 33%. From 2 cans. And here's the twist: if you've had 1 kidney stone, your chance of getting another within 5 years is 50%. Unless you cut out sugar. So here's what it all comes down to. Every bubble tea, every can of cola, every slice of cake. It's not just about your waistline. It's not just about feeling tired. These things are silently destroying your kidneys. And the scariest part, you won't know until it's too late. 70%. Remember that number. 70% of kidney function can be gone before you feel a thing. If your kidneys could speak, they probably wouldn't blame you. They don't know how to hold grudges. They just work, silently, day after day, without complaint, without asking for anything in return. But if they could write you a letter, here's what I think they'd say. Dear kidneys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for assuming you were strong enough to handle anything. I'm sorry for every bubble tea, every soda, every piece of cake I never thought twice about. I only thought about the sweetness on my tongue, the comfort when stress faded. I didn't know that behind every one of those moments, you were struggling, fighting to keep me alive. I'm sorry for letting you work around the clock, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, without ever saying thank you. I'm sorry that I only realized you existed when the doctor said, your kidney function is declining. Starting today, I promise it'll be different. I'm going to quit sugar, not because someone's forcing me, but because I owe you a chance to rest. The first 30 days will be hard. My brain will complain. My body will ache. But I know that while I'm struggling, you'll be quietly celebrating. Thank you for never giving up on me. Now it's my turn to not give up on you. Sincerely, your owner who finally woke up. But here's the real twist. This isn't one of those videos where I tell you to quit sugar and suddenly everything's perfect. The truth is, the first 72 hours are going to be hell. Your head will pound, not from lack of sleep, from your brain screaming for glucose. You'll feel irritable, snapping at people for no reason. You'll drag through the day, exhausted, because your body hasn't learned how to burn fat for fuel yet. And the cravings. They'll hit hardest around 3 or 4 in the afternoon, when all you want is something sweet to get you through the rest of the day. It's a lot like quitting caffeine. The first 3 days, you want to bang your head against a wall. But after that, you'll thank yourself. But while your brain is throwing a tantrum, your kidneys are quietly celebrating. For the first time in years, they're not drowning in work. No more glucose spikes, hitting 200 milligrams per deciliter after every meal. No more sticky AGs forming and clogging their filters. No more excess calcium building up in your urine. Your kidneys are finally resting. And more than that, they're starting to repair themselves. So why does your brain put up such a fight? Why can't you just decide to stop eating sugar and be done with it? Because your brain isn't just asking for sugar. It's addicted to it. Think of your brain as a slot machine in Vegas. Every time you eat sugar, the machine lights up, bells ring, and dopamine floods your system. That's the brain's reward chemical, the feel-good drug. And once your brain learns that sugar equals reward, it'll do anything to get that hit again. This is exactly how heroin works, how cocaine works, how every addictive drug works. They hijack your dopamine system and turn your brain into an addict that only knows how to demand more. The only difference: sugar is legal. It's sold on every corner, wrapped in colorful packaging. And no one calls you an addict for eating it. But brain scans don't lie. Scientists have scanned the brains of people eating sugar and people using cocaine. The images are nearly identical. The same regions light up. The same dopamine surge happens. The same uncontrollable cravings follow. And here's what makes it worse. Refined sugar hits your system faster than natural sugar. When you eat an apple, the fructose is released slowly, along with fiber that slows absorption. But when you drink a soda, 39 grams of sugar slam into your bloodstream all at once. It creates a dopamine wave your brain can't forget. So when you feel like you can't quit sugar, don't blame yourself for being weak. It's not about willpower. It's because your brain has been reprogrammed by a legal addictive substance. But here's the good news. When you quit sugar for 30 days, your dopamine system resets. Your brain learns how to find pleasure in simpler things again. A good meal without sugar, a deep sleep, a clear morning without brain fog. You're not losing joy. You're rediscovering what real joy feels like. Now let me walk you through what the next 30 days will actually look like. Days 1 through 3. Hell. Headaches, irritability, cravings that feel impossible to ignore. This is withdrawal, and it's real. Days 4 through 7. Things start to settle. The headache eases up. Your energy comes back, just a little. You're not out of the woods yet, but you can see light. Days 8 through 14. The learning curve. Your brain starts adapting. The cravings get quieter. You might still want sugar, but it's not screaming at you anymore. Days 15 through 21. The shift. You sleep better. Your skin clears up. Your mind feels sharper. This is when you start to feel the difference. Days 22 through 30. The awakening. You don't want to go back. Not because you're forcing yourself, but because you feel too good to return to the way things were. 30 days isn't the finish line. It's the moment you realize you're stronger than you thought. When you stop flooding your body with sugar, your kidneys do something remarkable. They start to heal. When inflammation drops, the nephrons that were damaged can begin to repair themselves. Think of it like a scrape on your skin. If you keep irritating it, it never heals. But the moment you stop, your body kicks into recovery mode. Here's what happens week by week. Week 1. Your CRP levels, that's the marker for inflammation, drop by 15 to 20%. The fire inside your kidneys starts to cool. Week 2. Protein leakage in your urine decreases. That's a sign the filtration barrier is getting stronger. Your kidneys are patching the holes. Weeks 3 and 4. Blood pressure drops by 5 to 10 points. Why? Because your kidneys aren't holding onto excess water anymore. The swelling fades. The pressure eases. After 30 days, your kidney filtration rate can improve by 10 to 15% if the damage is still mild. It's like when you stop pouring poison into a river. The water doesn't clean itself overnight. But give it time, and nature does the work. But it's not just your kidneys. Your entire body starts to shift. Your liver sheds fat. Fatty liver disease can drop by 20 to 30%. Your heart gets relief because your blood pressure is lower. Your skin clears up. Acne fades, that glow people talk about. It's real. Your brain sharpens. No more afternoon crashes. No more brain fog. And you'll lose weight. 2 to 5 kilograms, mostly water and visceral fat. You're not just saving your kidneys. You're saving your life. Don't just take my word for it. Let me tell you about Linda. Linda is 58. 4 years ago, she couldn't climb stairs without her joints screaming. Every morning started with painkillers. Her doctor told her she was pre-diabetic. Her A1C was 6.2. She weighed 172 pounds at 5'3". She was exhausted, swollen. She barely recognized herself in the mirror. Then one day, her daughter showed her a video about sugar and kidneys. Linda cried, not because she was scared, but because she realized she'd been poisoning herself for 30 years without knowing it. She decided to try 30 days. The first week was brutal. Headaches so bad she almost quit. But on day 10, something strange happened. She woke up without joint pain. For the first time in 5 years. 1 month later, she'd lost 9 pounds. 3 months later, her A1C dropped to 5.1. 1 year later, it hit 4.5, the level of a healthy 30-year-old. 4 years later, she's 58 but feels 40. No more painkillers, normal blood pressure. 22% body fat. Her doctor said that's athlete level. And the most important part? She has the energy to play with her grandkids without getting tired. Her secret. It's not willpower. It's this simple truth. When you feel the difference, when your joints stop aching, when you sleep deeply, when you look in the mirror and see yourself glowing, you don't want to go back. Today, Linda has been sugar-free for 1,460 days. And she's not counting down. She's counting up. Every day healthier. Every day freer. But if all of this is true, why didn't your doctor ever tell you? Why isn't there a warning label on every can of soda? Why is sugar everywhere? Here's the uncomfortable truth. You're not just fighting your cravings. You're up against an industry worth $200 billion a year. And that's just the sugar industry. Behind it is Big Pharma, selling $300 billion worth of insulin and diabetes medication every year. Behind that are hospitals making billions from dialysis. When you quit sugar and get healthy, you're no longer a customer for any of them. Your doctor isn't a villain. They're just not trained. In 4 years of medical school, the average doctor gets 19 hours of nutrition education. That's less time than they spend learning how to write prescriptions. The system is designed to treat disease, not prevent it. Because prevention doesn't make money. Research from ACFAA shows that U.S. dietary guidelines over the past 50 years have been heavily influenced by food corporations. In 1980, when the government told people to cut fat and increase carbs, sugar sales jumped 30%. Obesity and diabetes rates doubled in the next 20 years. So when you feel powerless against your sugar cravings, remember this. You're not just fighting yourself. You're fighting a system worth trillions of dollars that's designed to keep you hooked. But here's the good news. Every day you don't eat sugar, you're not just saving your kidneys. You're casting a vote with your wallet. For a future where profit doesn't matter more than human health. A lot of people ask me, why 30 days? Why not 7? Why not 60? The answer lies in a lesson from nature. There's a species of bamboo in Japan that can take 5 years before you see the first shoot break through the soil. 5 years of nothing. But once that shoot appears, the bamboo can grow 80 feet tall in just 6 weeks. The magic isn't in those 6 weeks. It's in the 5 years underground. While you see nothing happening on the surface, the roots are spreading, building a foundation so strong that when growth finally comes, nothing can stop it. No roots, no tree. No time, no miracle. Quitting sugar works the same way. Neuroscience shows that it takes the brain an average of 21 to 30 days to form a new habit. But more importantly, 30 days is the time it takes for your body to forget what it feels like to depend on sugar. In the first 72 hours, your brain screams for glucose. But by day 10, your dopamine system starts to reset. By day 21, your liver has learned how to produce glucose from fat instead of demanding sugar from the outside. And by day 30, your kidneys have cleared out most of the AGEs, the aging molecules that have been building up for years. 30 days isn't the finish line, it's the first milestone. It's where you see the first bamboo shoot. And when you see it, you realize something. What's changing isn't just your body, it's your belief. The belief that you can control yourself. That you're stronger than your cravings. That health isn't luck. It's a choice. And when those roots run deep enough, no storm, no offer of cake, no craving at 3 in the afternoon can knock you down. 30 days is the first milestone. It's where you see that first shoot of bamboo. It's when you realize that what's changing isn't just your body, it's your belief. Your belief that you can take control, that you're stronger than the cravings. That health isn't something you hope for. It's something you choose. And when your roots are deep, no storm, no birthday party, no late-night craving, no moment of weakness can knock you over. I'm not saying you have to quit sugar forever. I'm just inviting you to try 30 days. 30 days to let your kidneys rest. 30 days to reset your brain. 30 days to see that first shoot of bamboo. And if after 30 days you want to go back, that's your choice. But I'm guessing you won't want to. Your kidneys have been working silently your entire life. They've filtered millions of liters of blood. They've saved you from danger more times than you can count, and they've never asked for anything in return. Now it's your turn to give them a chance. 30 days. Just 30 days. Your kidneys deserve it. And so do you.